How is everybody? Am I going to have that up like that today? I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Now, can you see? I think you can see most of that. You can't get to there. Now you can't see the. Okay, well, we're working up the top anyway, so you can see the top. All right. Okay, so the next step is I've just added these are just braided off pieces of old book, and I wanted to add a bit more at this point to here, and a little bit more like a mountainous kind of effect. But I like the blue, but I actually wanted to add some really some brown or something to these to change them up a little bit more. So first up, I got a scrap of book and ripped up to kind of get an idea of the size, because obviously when you've got one piece that you really like in your jelly print or your jelly roll off, I use originals, so that's done, and I can't get another one to make, yeah, so make the picture right if I bugger it up. So I am just going to get my jelly plate out again, which is actually still underneath this, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color to these, and I am thinking kind of in the brown spectrum, maybe dark brown spectrum, could even be ink, could be, yeah, anyway, but I haven't quite decided how or what texture plate that I'm going to go with. Might go with even onion bag or bubble wrap, something really simple. Okay, so these are these pieces that I've decided that I need anyway. Okay, so those are those pieces. So we're just going to put those together, and I'm just going to use this peg to hold those together so I don't lose any of them. Now the other thing the other idea I had was the moon, and I was obviously trying to work out whether or not I wanted one moon or two moons, or what I wanted in the moons. I did paint these up with a bit of silver, but I don't think I want the paint on this particular one. I don't think I want the newsprint. So newsprint, the paint, you know, the words. Having trouble with my words today. So I decided on this size. That was the one that was the winner. So we'll put that other one away, and I'm not sure as yet just what I'm going to do with that, but I might just put that in there just in case I think of something along the way. Now, the other thing that I wanted to, I was going to work out, I mean, obviously there's work to do with ink and pens and so forth to make things stand out later, but, and I do put all of these pieces into the folder of this particular piece when I'm finished. So I was trying to work out what I wanted, what sort of, you know, lines I wanted in this particular artwork, you know, whether they were like this, or I did come up with, so after I got off camera, of course, I was playing on some tissue paper, as I do. It's kind of my play. So I was just doing a couple of bits, and this is one of my stamps, which you've seen. It's around here somewhere. It's rather big though. I don't know whether I need, or whether I, you know, so this is how I kind of get the idea of what I want in that area. Now I may glue it on, but not normally. I normally I normally just draw it, but I like to have the concept in my brain, you know, of the picture of sort of, you know, is it going to be like that kind of thing, or is it going to be more, you know, flamey kind of tree, or just a double tree, or you know what I mean? So, or is it just going to be some grass? Do you think grass would just look like, you know? So anyway, completely artistic eye, whatever. It's always right because you are the artist, and it's always correct, whatever you do. And so I got to this point where I was playing with my stamp, and I quite like this kind of, I found a stamp that I kind of liked, and the big sort of flower, clearly it doesn't have to be in black. Could be in black, but I haven't decided that far down the road yet. But I quite like this combination between my handmade stamp and this this little stamp that I have bought from somewhere along the line, with the ink work in between. So I quite like that idea. Don't know whether or not it'll be too big, and if that's the case, well, I will work that out a little bit further on down the track. So that was that sort of background, working on the background. But right for now, I'm just going to pause and go and get some paints and stuff, and just come back and quickly jelly print up those tiny bits. Okay, I'm back. So I just flipped this plate because the other side wasn't really giving me any grungy bits because I haven't worked on it. So I was hoping that this one might, but I do need to kind of just get it started, you know, like, yeah, because you know how it's all a bit dry when you first start. Anyway, I was going to use the high flow acrylic on here, and I was also going, I have this print, it's of my ceramic masks that I made many years ago. So and they're like faces, and very ancient faces, and all with, yeah, headdresses. I really love headdresses and hats and things. So I'm going to activate this. I do have a semi-transparent burnt umber also that I'm going to use for those pieces on the collage, but I'm just going to do this quickly, she says, when you work. Get that down. Couple of minutes for that to set up, and then I'm going to pull it. Then I'm going to put some brown. Now I've decided I have found a couple of different textures, kind of this wood texture. I think that would kind of work. But I also found this. So what I'm going to do is, before I do the pieces that I'm actually looking at, I'm going to actually do a scrap piece on there. Now this might not work. This might be not activated enough, and it might this off. Enough to be lifted the next time. It's a really good colour. Okay, so don't leave paper on too long. That's what happens. So I did pull off a couple of pieces, and that's lovely, and I like that in the background. This one down here particularly is gorgeous. Yeah, and this one up here has picked up a whole heap. So you can still see the ancient faces in the background. So I will work on that later. Once it's dried, it'll change. So now I'm going to do a bit of a test on the semi opaque one, I think. Translucent sand. I'm just going to put that on here, and I'm going to put that on here. I just want to see. That's not good. So let's just see how that works. It's but I think that will work quite nicely, actually. The dots, well, you know, either really. I'll just put this one on here and pull that, I think. All right. And I will pull that one on that bit and that bit right in the center. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get these bits, not the moon. I haven't quite got to the moon, but it could be. I could at this point probably just rip out again the pieces, you know, from this, but that's a bit strong. I do think that it needs to be the wood. So I'm going to do just this bit here. And I'm going to put the wood grain that way. It's okay. And the... Right. Alright. I'm pretty happy with that because I could use that with an ink later on if I think I need any more. And I'll just put these extra bits and bobs that I made in the same sort of color palette away over there. And then I will bring in this that went? No, not really. That's right. I was going to put that one there with the mountain. Down there. I'm liking that. Okay, so I have glued down the sort of mountainous area that I've put in the background there. Alright, that's one bit. And I also forgot to mention around the edges I always put some sort of ink, the color of whatever I'm working on, so that the white doesn't show up on those sorts of pieces of paper. Now what I want to do is I want to darken down this area now that is in front of the mountains, I think. So I've got, this is about the only blue because I rolled that background texture onto it. This is kind of the only blue that's near the amount, near the right color. So what I'm just going to work out, I mean, I would just normally do this, but having to show you is a bit... So what I'm doing is I'm taking the Inktense and I'm just going to... ones. Blue. So there'll be 1, 2, 3. Let's not get these confused. Now I'm even going to do a bit of a purple. Just to see. I mean, ooh, that's like, whoa, too strong. I just want to see if I used an Inktense on there. And the other one I wanted to try maybe was yellow. No, I don't think yellow is going to work. Konakano nickel gold might. Maybe we'll try this first. Okay, so we're just going to put these back. Have broken a few in my I don't know where the lid is. Okay, we'll just put those away for the moment until I figure out my perspex. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm really just going to sit with it for a second. Okay, so I've got the 5, 6 colors. I kind of know which ones they are, even though I put that away. So I'm thinking I'm going to dry these and then I will come back